Just as well, this is serious fun.
Yes. I
Wait,
think
punchline.
Wait, serious fun. I just got that.
And punchline. I'm confused. Is it serious fun or is it a joke? Oh, but it is that and so much more. Welcome to David Lynch's Chulip.
Yes, your word last time was...
lips.
And to be fair to you, I think this is the most apropos possible result from that word. Would you like to introduce us to this escapade?
Well, our scene opens with a dog walking up to a tree vagina. And it gets progressively stranger from there in a way that only the Japanese games really can.
So
Options. Vibration. That's the option that I have.
It's even got lip right there in the name.
Yep. Are you ready for that?
There is a man being birthed from the tree, and a monkey boy has approached.
Yeah. This is a little bit like, there's a movie called Suicide Club.
I think this is a dream Carl Pilkington's having, where he's a tree talking to his best monkey friend.
There is a very Pilkington quality about this guy who's... We actually meet him again later. But this establishes the story, sort of. Or at least the goal, like the main character goal.
Is the screen going to be vibrating up and down the whole way through?
Probably. It wasn't doing that when I was playing it.
Okay.
I look forward to that driving everybody insane.
Cum slut. I thought that was an L at the start for a second there.
Lum slut.
Yes.
I'm an absolute slut for lums. And here comes my dear, soon-to-be betrothed child bride.
Yes, I've seen this game before, and this whole segment at the start seems to be mainly just to spoil the central conceit of the game, because the game doesn't actually get to that for a very long time.
It really doesn't. That actually surprised me. Like, the gameplay video that I did it does not get into sort of, I'm hesitant to say gameplay.
Oh, is this revenge for me making you my Oregon Trail Skeksis wife?
Why does it gotta be revenge? Why do you think I took that negatively? Everything's fucking negative with you. No, I just like the idea of the adventures of Cumslut and Yatsina.
Okay.
And I think Yatsina's a funny female name.
And you're Cumslut in this event.
I'm Cumslut. Well, I'm running around trying to get kisses off of everything, which I think makes me a Cumslut.
Spoiler warning!
Yes, the central conceit of the game is the spoiler. Heads up, Street Fighter involves punching.
You have to kiss things a lot. That's the object of the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Now you know why. I had this recommended to me on Twitter, and within about a second of reading about it, I was like, yeah, it looks like I gotta do this. Originally, my choice was to do, I have no mouth, but I must scream, but that is...
How is that lips related?
Lips, mouth, it's in the friggin' title. Dude, lips. Give me a fucking break. Lips. Lips is not an easy one. Lips isn't a theme. You can't have, the game is themed around lips.
And yet, what else is this game if
yeah, well,
not
there we
themed
go.
around
Like, that's
lips?
what I mean. Like, I wasn't aware of this game, that this game existed, so I was racking my brain for like, Jesus fuck, what do I know that is kind of got lips or mouth focus?
Well, I haven't played this one myself. I did watch a Let's Play of it.
Of course you have.
It's by Natsume, previously of Harvest Moon. I think Cooking Mama. Don't quote me on that. But it's one of those very peculiarly Japanese games which just seem to be sort of creating a life simulator in a world that runs on different rules to everywhere else.
Oh, you have no idea.
In that I group things like Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing... What was that other one? Tomodachi Life, maybe?
I don't know, I don't really play any of those games. I have this thing, like, again...
And now you're strapped in a dentist's chair, and the marathon man is about to torture you. Oh,
listen to me, Cumslut! There's a Japanese movie called Suicide Squad, not Suicide Squad, Suicide Club, which is a really good example of just Japanese bizarro cinema. And I've had this thing where I've told people about it to go watch it, and it's happened about 6 times where I've just been like, okay, this movie is really weird. Like, the kind of regular Japanese weird that most of us are sort of acclimatized to now.
Yes.
But then, about 3/4 of the way through, Suicide Club gets batshit insane. Like, it just somehow manages to pull out extra nitrous and go even faster. And this game's a little bit like that. Every time you think you've seen the weirdest thing this game's gonna throw at you, it throws something else more weird at you, which by the end gets
Goodbye, cum slut.
Yeah.
Cum Slut left the house. Then he went to see his friend Dan the Baker. Hello, Cum Slut, said
I
Dan the
saved by
Baker.
pooping.
Of course you do. That's not even the only game that that's not even weird. No More Heroes does that.
Remember when
Dead
you
Rising
shit?
does that.
When you shit, it takes your life down.
Ooh, angry. Grrr. Grrr, I'm having a furious poo.
I'm furious.
Nice.
So yes, you save by pooping. There's a sneaking mechanic that is bizarrely necessary.
Okay.
That we'll find out a little bit later.
Is that so you can sneak up on Kiss things?
Yes.
That is not problematic at all.
Like,
Let's hide behind this wall and then launch our lips at this one like we're doing a stealth counter in
what I
Shadow
love
of
is
Mordor.
all the characters have a Muppety quality to them. Like, they're all very distinctly digital Muppets.
Yeah, especially that guy.
Oh, all of them. Like, it's a little bit difficult to see sometimes because of the angle, but the main character's a Muppet. That woman with her head flapping away is
Not
definitely
quite
a Muppet.
Muppety.
The
What is... There's something
Doctor
about...
looks a little bit like Guy Smiley or something like
Yeah,
that.
the Doctor looks like Guy Smiley, but there's something about you that takes away from the Muppetiness. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there we go.
That
Told you.
looks like someone wearing a carnival costume.
Yeah, it's like a mascot for a really horrifyingly racist baseball team.
Looks like something I would have nightmares about as a child.
Wait for it.
I'm
a nice cum slut.
I'd probably dream about it eating me.
And then it just does scary eyes. Whenever you finish talking to her, she does scary eyes.
I'd be more afraid by the flapping mouth, I think.
I'm going to lick you.
I'm Dr. Dandy.
I'm going to call you that sarcastically now.
I dress like a twat.
That's perfect.
It's this weird front of your face that's throwing me off.
Yeah, like, it's because he's got Muppet head. Like, his head is two distinct separate parts that flap when they try to talk.
Oh, a cold sweet potato that I found in the bin.
Yeah.
And that I'm
that
going
was
to consume.
a compost bin, it would be a warm sweet potato. That's why you don't just throw food into
Of
regular
course,
dumpsters.
which of course would make it much more appetizing.
Oh, absolutely.
The bacteria has been growing in this for a while.
Bacteria just means more meal.
More live things have died.
Moldy bread is just more bread.
Well, I guess bacteria doesn't die if you eat it. It fucking thrives if you eat it.
Lives inside you, and then you become an amazing symbiote like Venom.
Or it just gives you food poisoning.
Yeah, or you just shit a lot.
G-Pot.
He owns the antique shop, believe it or not.
Okay.
He's always happy to meet a cum slut.
You wonder how antique shops make a living.
Um,
Well, I guess it's the whole rather than sell 200 things at $10 a pop, sell 2 things at $1,000 a pop.
yeah, it depends on where you go. Like, there are places on Bribey Island, like proper, like sort of second-hand stores that
A
sell really
sleeping
interesting
dog.
shit.
Better let it lie then.
Go jab it in the eye. I like that.
And here's Naked Snake. I can't even tell. The resolution is so small.
Well, again, you could make the window a little larger, but
Oh, he's wearing sunglasses?
yeah.
I see.
And his entire face is
Jesus Christ.
a massively racist, flapping Asian caricature.
It's weird how some Asian
Like,
games
look
do
at
that.
it. Yeah, that is.
I guess, that's like a racist caricature of all those other Asians.
It's like
Like
if
the
you met a
Asians
black guy in
specific
blackface.
from the specific region of Japan everyone else in Japan is racist about.
I would. Well, what would that be? That's
I think
It's the South. I know it's the South.
I've heard
Osaka.
Osaka, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard Japanese people have stereotypes about Osaka.
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't even know about that.
It's kind of like in America. Like I've heard
Texas.
I've heard it said everyone in the world says Americans are weird. Most Americans say nah, it's just California. Most Californians say nah, it's just LA. Most LA residents just say nah, it's just Hollywood.
And then Hollywood goes, "Fribble bum."
Hey, you found her,
Yep, game over.
soulmate.
So easy.
Well, that was quick.
I love you, Yatsina. Touch my enormous distended beasting lips.
Kiss her, you fool.
I don't know. I remember once when I was.
Man, that was easy.
Yeah.
Yes, I would rather get
Just
like it.
kidding. Oh, God, it's high school again. I don't like this anymore. This game isn't fun. I'm sad.
Jesus, what a slut.
Okay, I don't want to tell her I'm a cum slut.
See, there's a lot of Japanese games where they have this, like, dialogue choice, but they don't tell you that some of these dialogue choices, like, completely change the path of the game.
I don't think these ones do. Oh, hey, the phone I found is ringing.
Oh god, I knew that would happen.
Yeah.
Before we were doing recording, Gabriel found a lost phone on the street. And he decided he was going to leave his number next to it, and so that they could, and then take the phone with him. And he's probably going to leave me alone for a while he goes and returns it. So, I guess you're stuck with me for a while, listener. Yep, there he goes. You know, Gabriel doesn't watch these videos back, so I guess I can say whatever I like about him now. You know, I don't think Gabriel's very intelligent. And I think he's the last person to realise that. Has anyone else picked up on that? He's like got the sort of thing that a precocious 12-year-old has, where they sort of have sounding intelligent confused with actually being intelligent. It's not even that. He's got sounding intelligent confused with just being incredibly boring and difficult to listen to. Oh, and I think he's just dramatised most of his actual love life there. Yep, it's still just me. Because Gabriel has to go down in the lift and be a good citizen. I said it would interrupt the record. Okay, I guess he just had to go and double check and make sure those eyes were as terrifying as they were the first time. So yeah, this is... Well, I talk shit about him, but I kind of need someone to bounce off, I find, because otherwise I just sort of panic. Maybe I should just sing a little song until he gets back. Oh, I think I hear him at the door. 1 second.
Okay, so I'm guessing while I was gone, Yahtzee, about as pleasant as shit on your face, Croshaw, was doing his whole big routine about how finding a Galaxy S5 and going to the effort of giving it back to the person who lost it was somehow a bad thing.
Well, not really. I was mainly just talking...
That's what you were doing when I found it. Yahtzee tried to convince me not to bother.
Well...
Think about that for a second.
Well, it would teach you a valuable lesson, wouldn't it?
There we go. There we go. I wanted to get a Galaxy S5 back to its owner, who seemed very happy on getting it back, I might add. And Yahtzee, of course, mainly, but not because of any other reason, but it was my idea. Anything that I come up with, Yahtzee just has to shit on because he's got some sad need to call out everything I do to the point where handing a phone back to the person who lost it is a bad thing.
Are you just going to self-aggrandize for the next 10 minutes?
I'm not self-aggrandizing.
Oh,
I'm
it sounds
making
a lot...
fun of you being a dickhead.
Well, you seem to be doing that mainly by self-aggrandizing, from what I'm hearing there.
You're a dickhead.
And you're a self-aggrandizing twat.
You're a sad, negative little man.
And you're a fucking idiot.
Cum slut.
Are you kissing your dad?
Yes.
You won't get experience by kissing me. We've done that far too often. Alone at night, when I come into your room.
We're never to talk about that outside. Remember, you'll get it punished.
Yes, and I'll buy you a teddy bear after each time.
The sad thing is, it's incredibly
And those teddy bears stare at you from the chest of drawers. And each stare reminds you of another night.
The sad thing is, as simplified as it is faintly accurate. Like, you kiss more people, you get more self-confidence, you can take more rejection. Rejection like that.
Okay. So you just tried to kiss the scary lady who looks like she's going to eat you.
I was just curious to see what happened.
So to kiss someone is just like a button you have.
Yeah, like triangle, push triangle to kiss. And I was going to kiss Dr. Dandy, but then I thought, that's probably not a good idea.
Well, fair play to this game. It seems to have no judgment against homophobia.
No, like, I'm not sure if you kiss dudes later in it. Probably not, because I think the main character is heterosexual.
I think you do kiss dudes.
I didn't get that far.
What I recall.
Yeah,
and just walk past that street corner prostitute, continue on your day.
She's my true love. Bastard, you just don't understand.
Well, she's got so many attractive features, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's there.
She stands there.
She exists.
Yes, she kicks you in the balls at the slightest opportunity.
Knows your name.
She must be one of those tsunderas I can't pronounce properly.
Oh, that's right, that's that hentai thing. Was it a hentai thing or was it an anime thing?
Well, it's not necessarily... Yeah, it's just like a Japanese character type.
Okay. Yeah, so now we get sort of into the meat and potatoes. I mean, basically how the gameplay works, which...
Oh no, a dog stole the letters out. We better kiss it to get it back.
No, this is introducing the stealth gameplay.
Yes.
Because basically, you're not allowed to kiss someone angry. So you have to sneak up on them until they're not angry.
Because I'm sure their mood will be greatly improved once you forcibly sexually assault them.
That's pretty much it. That's what the pickup artist forums always go on about.
I'm just imagining that being said in a very racist accent. Stupid dog! Stupid dog!
It is really like Mickey Rooney and Breakfast at Tiffany's. There we go. And yeah, I stuck up, and then I tried to sneak away, and then the dog bit me, so I don't understand what happened there. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Trying to sneak off. I won't have that.
None of that business.
So what happens if you run out of hearts?
You die.
Okay, you die from not being kissable enough.
Yeah. Suicide rate. I think this game's a giant big metaphor for the afterlife, actually. But.
I suppose the question is, who is this game for, and what is it supposed to teach them?
Is
it for like a code of conduct for Japanese young people?
Possibly.
Remember, only kiss people when either you're fairly certain they want it or they don't know where you are.
Yeah. And if they don't like you, build up interesting characteristics, and get a few fucking practice fucks in. That's important.
Georgie Porgy Pudding and Pie was a reference for living.
Wasn't it one of the kings?
No, Georgie Porgy Pudding and Pie kissed the girls and made them cry.
Yeah, I know, but I thought it was about like one of the King Georges or something.
I don't know, possibly.
Okay.
Sounds like one of those clever satires they come up with in the 17th century.
Yeah. Or like how Ring Around the Rosies was about disease and dying.
That's apocryphal.
What's that?
It's not true.
Is it?
No, it was nothing to do with the plague.
Yeah. What's it about then?
It's just a funny children's rhyme. Not everything has to have a deep meaning.
Well, I don't know. I heard that fucking,
Well, from an apocryphal source, yes. Yeah. That was debunked a long time ago.
Huh. Oh, that's interesting.
Now you're going to kiss a letter.
Yeah, with my pants.
I'm guessing that's what these obviously copy-pasted and mirror-flipped flower images are for.
How many Twitter messages have you got pretty much like this?
It's fucking freaky as shit, isn't it?
Dear Yahtzee.
From what I have perceived of you, I have decided I'm head over heels in love.
I know. I know. It's just I looked at you. And...
Received love letter.
Yeah.
You just wrote that. You didn't receive it.
And now I'm going to go brag about my love letter to my neighbors, because that's not intensely creepy.
Hey, check out this love letter I haven't sent to this person who despises me.
And did you notice how personal the love letter was? Like, it knew so much about her. Like, it was like, I love you, I love you, lots.
Yeah, it is really like a 5-year-old's idea of romance at this point, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's puppy love. It's his first crush. Ah, the first crush of Newsboy Cap Chimp.
Yeah, I thought there was like maybe a postman aspect to this game, but there isn't.
Well, you look like one. You got your little letter satchel there.
Yeah, that was my first thought. Was he must be some kind of postman.
Look how she watches you like a fucking security system.
Ning, ning, ning. I thought about giving her the letter there, but then I thought that sounds like a trick. Okay.
Yes.
Here's.
Okay, I'm just accepting this. There is a man who's a telegraph pole and who's got Carl Pilkington's face halfway up it.
Yeah, and this is where the game starts to... This is just one of the many upgrades in Weird.
Okay, so apparently this game is intended as advice for small business owners.
Yeah, represented by pole men.
Remember to pay your employees, that's how economies work.
Yeah, otherwise your traffic poles will run away. Then we'll have no power. So yeah, that does come up a bit later. And the game just gets strange, because now I've got access to a new location.
Okay, thanks, telegraph pole man.
He's probably like, the telegraph pole spirit is probably like a well-known Shinto deity.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure this is all perfectly logical for a Japanese player, because of cultural things.
Yeah, if there's anyone watching this from Japan, can you please tell me if this is weird to you?
I was doing some notes for a possible Silent Hill 2 deconstruction. And I noticed how toilets seem to come up in the game a lot, and I wondered if that was intended as some deeper meaning. But on research, it seems that the toilets just seem to crop up in Japanese urban legends a lot.
Wasn't there that hand thing in Zelda that lives in the toilet? It was in Skyward Sword and like one of the other ones. I don't know.
I'm not sure it lives comes from the toilet in Zelda. But they got...
It does in Skyward Sword. There's a hand in a toilet.
There's an urban legend not dissimilar to the Bloody Mary urban legends that exist in the West. Where if you go into a bathroom and you hear crying, you'll find a scary little girl in the toilet because she died there during the war or something. But it goes back further than that. Apparently there's a lot of evil demons in Japanese folklore who hang out in the toilet. It's an effective horror thing because it's the horror. The toilet is where you make yourself most vulnerable, and for some reason the Japanese aren't so embarrassed about it as some cultures, as we might demonstrate later on in this game.
There's the taboo of the toxic.
I noticed we haven't found any poo yet, and from what I remember of this game, there is quite a poo fixation.
I only get to one poo reference that's a little peculiar and kind of accidental, so I haven't seen the rest of...
Well, poo, from what I saw the videos I watched, poo seems to be a fairly common random drop you find in dumpsters.
Huh.
Yes.
Because I do find poo, but I find poo in a location...
You're cum slut, the poor boy.
Cum slut, the poor boy from a poor family.
Have some sweets.
No, that's the thing.
Perhaps this will wash the taste out of your mouth.
I thought she was giving me sweets. She doesn't. It's about now when I noticed that the billboard is for a movie called The Fart Woman.
Of course. That's another thing about Japanese culture. You can never tell what's fetishized or not.
Well, I mean, a fetish, you can fetishize anything. So
Is this a fetish game?
To some people, it probably is.
I'd hate to get married to the person who has this game serving their fetish. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I want you to understand how much the cop terrifies me, and how that plays into something that happens a bit later, and how that horrible fucking face is now how... That face is what I apply to the surveillance state of the world.
I think you've just run into Ao Oni.
I don't know what that is.
Well, look it up.
This has been Yahtzee Kershaw with his informative, helpful chats.
Oh, the internet knows. It's one of the very heavily Let's Played games.
Oh, okay. What's it about?
Well, it's an RPG Maker horror game about an Ao Oni, which means blue demon.
Huh.
And basically just like a guy who's got a normal-looking face, but he's blue and has a massively large head. And he just grabs you and the screen goes black and you just assume that you died somehow. But he's a fucking freaky looking dude. And that was my first thought when I saw that guy.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I could eat you without having to chew.
I am the face of order. You will kneel to me. Kneel to the face of order. Like, honestly, if that face replaced, like, Big Brother and the Big Brother is watching you posters, everyone would sit the fuck down and behave. That is just... Ugh.
You're the new guy in town. I work nights as a hotel bell.
Yeah, things on heads seem to...
That literally is a hotel bell on his head, isn't it? I was being facetious.
No, it's a hotel... Well, it's not a hotel bell. He works in the train station, so it's like a thing to summon...
Summon the conductor, or whatever.
Which you can only use when he's already there, so it's really just a tool to torture and harass the conductor.
I see.
Which by the very end of me playing this, I started to get the conclusion this was some kind of weird afterlife.
Maybe they're just trying to boost their employee numbers because they get a tax break. You have someone whose job is to be the bell.
Be the bell. Full employment! Be the bell.
You also have a guy whose job is to be the pencil sharpener. He just opens his mouth all day.
You can... I'm like, okay, does that only happen once? No, that's not allowed through here.
And here he comes again.
A pole just comes down. Recites some Cure lyrics, and then leaves.
You can never understand how I feel, for you are not a telegraph pole.
Well,
that's true.
That is a large
But you can
barrier.
never understand what it's like to be a chimp boy. This is what living in society is.
This game is fucking peculiar, man.
It's about give and take.
But I don't know, like, I suspect that this is some kind of weird afterlife. So I'm curious to see, like, do you think that, you've seen more of the game than I have at this point.
No, I think it's just a dramatization of an average Japanese boy's day. I saw your sneaky little mouse cursor there.
Yeah, I bumped it.
Can't fool me.
Still haven't left it on the fucking thing for a whole game yet.
Okay, is it kissy time?
At this point I tried giving her the letter. And...
What a moo.
Yeah, but like, watch this. So I gotta give her the letter. A letter. Well,
Just can't take a hint, can you?
It's actually for you.
Who's this from? A secret admirer. Is that you? Yes.
Yes.
Are we girlfriends and boyfriend now?
Will you touch my doodle?
Would you please let me crush my weird Muppet face against yours? And we'll do that face Kermit the Frog makes when he's perplexed by something.
I was just thinking that exact same fucking thing. The crinkled up crunch face.
The crunched up perplexed Kermit face.
Can you do a Kermit voice?
No.
Damn it.
Haven't tried.
I thought that'd have been somewhere in your arsenal, given that you have Kermity undertones.
Haven't tried. Not gonna try to improv one.
You do have Kermity. There's definitely a Kermit sort of element to your voice.
I'm not
give it a try.
I'm not sure how to take that.
Well, look, he's making the scrunched up face.
Well, you do a Kermit voice then.
Dude, I'm not, I don't fancy myself a singer or a voice actor. Yeah, so now someone's talking to me, and yeah, the mailbox tells me my love letter is terrible. Which is nice, because somebody had to.
It was nice. It's nice to know that someone's got enough sense. If that was a conventional mailbox, it would have just delivered that without judgment, and what a fool you would have looked like then.
More mailboxes need to do that. Or email boxes these days.
Yeah, what I want is for the government to open all the letters, read them, and then advise us on segments of it found distasteful. I think that could never possibly be abused.
That would be nice, if like Azio was just sort of checking through and was like, alright, look, you sent these 3 emails last night to your employer while we presume you were drunk. We've held them off for now.
Yes.
But if you'd like to review it, then we could just forward those along.
Yes, I couldn't help noticing this thing you said about the current government party. Maybe you'd like to reword that a little bit as well.
Just take that bit out.
Have I showed you this brochure for the gulag we've just built?
Australia's so good for gulags too.
Yeah.
Like pretty much most of the country is just ripe for it.
Well, at least the gulags are on tropical islands. It's better than Siberia.
I don't know,
There's that
man.
at least.
I'd rather be chilly than fucking hot. Like,
yeah, getting eaten alive by the mozzies. Oh, well, you never lived in the Northern Hemisphere, have you? Trust me when I say
I know
sometimes it gets too cold to even be remedied by putting more layers on.
You get fucked up things in the tropics, though, man. Like giant centipedes.
just going down to the sewers. Yep.
Here's Carl Pilkington.
Yep, here he is again.
With the light bulb of ideas above him.
Is he the same Carl Pilkington who has the telegraph pole?
No, but those two are...
Well, I didn't think he was, because Carl Pilkington telegraph pole must have extremely long legs.
This is Michio Suzuki. See? How did you not know that?
Okay.
It's obviously...
That's just like, Brian Reynolds in Japanese.
Hello, I'm Dave Williams.
I'm Brian Reynolds, and I'm a Mr. Saturn type motherfucker who lives in a sewer.
What is that? Are there any Japanese viewers that can chime in on this? Is he like a spirit?
That's
the thing about like Shinto. There are a lot.
I read other people's letters and criticize them.
You perform a vital service. Speaking of weird Japanese things...
You can kiss her under the legendary tree on the hill. I've never heard it called that before.
Is that like a name for a little bit of leftover pubic hair? Like the little stylized?
Yes.
A little bit of fluff.
Yes, let's draw this gag out. Anyway. Oh, okay, so apparently Sewer Carl Pilkington also gives lessons on romancing women, because of course he would.
Come here, you lonely lady. I have a boy slut for you.
That's an onion.
No, it's an onion woman.
Oh, well, that makes...
onion lady.
That makes you wonder. Is the onions we eat, are they part of the male or female part of the plant?
Viva. I have no idea. But yeah, so you have to wait until she's not angry, and then kiss her.
Kiss onion lady.
And you have to sneak up on her while she's... Yeah, see, I accidentally wasn't sneaking, and then she comes over and just fucking headbutts me.
I don't imagine you'll have heard these 5 words before, but kiss onion lady, cum slut. You have to sneak up to angry people, obviously.
Yeah, kiss them. This is such good
Jesus,
advice.
haven't you ever lived in Japan before?
Okay, fangirls, this is for all of you wondering, this is exactly how you approach Yahtzee. Just sneak up on him when he's angry. Wait until he mellows a little bit, like, you know, mention chocolate or puppies.
Oh man, fuck that street corner prostitute. I think we've just discovered true love in the Onion Lady.
True love in the Onion Lady. You just had to peel back her layers of anger.
That was level 1, was it?
To find the little... Yeah, I've leveled up now.
Alright.
Through the power of making out with vegetables. Which I don't recommend as a way of getting better at dealing with human beings. I think you'll find the two respond fairly differently to each other.
But then again, be inappropriate with a parsnip and learn some useful fellatio techniques.
Have you had to break out the training parsnip, Yahtzee? Is that...
And also cut a pomegranate in half with the female equivalent. Oh, I guess an avocado would be better.
I have not fucked a thing. So that's...
I'm not saying fuck the thing, I'm just saying practice cunnilingus on avocados. God, you're so weird.
I've not done that. You've done that, haven't you?
No.
I don't believe you.
Well, I've eaten a sandwich.
Yeah, have you eaten a sandwich or have you eaten a sandwich? Because at this point, I don't know, after you talked about, I don't know, some of the things you've said just makes me believe that's a thing that's actually
Well, I used to eat Jaffa cakes by peeling the orange bit off and sort of licking all the chocolatey flakes off it, which I imagine would be good training in cunnilingus at least.
Getting away from this. Did you see David Letterman standing next to a hologram wondering about his life?
I didn't see it, but I think it's an interesting story. The Japanese virtual idol, because that's a thing now, Hatsune Miku, made a live appearance on David Letterman. You were implying that it was done in a way to sort of take the piss out of the concept.
Oh, no. It was on there legit, but, like, Dave pulled his face, which is one that he frequently pulls.
You call him Dave, like he's your friend.
He is my friend. I've been watching Letterman for, like, almost my entire life, actually. It's fucking weird how long that show's been on the air. Like, I remember being 6, and it's like, you go over to Dad's house, and he wouldn't make you, like, you know, because it was Friday, I didn't have to go to sleep or get up, you know, early, so I got to stop and watch Letterman.
Yes, quite, but history was made as the virtual idol, whose, even their voice is synthesized, apparently, their singing voice.
Yeah, see, I sat down and I watched it, and I don't know...
I hesitate to say her singing voice.
Yeah, like, I was kind of confused as to what the big deal was, because essentially it's just a pre-recorded act. I thought part of the fun of it being a hologram was there something kind of clever involved where Dave was going to talk to her and she was going to answer in real time.
That would have been fucking excruciating, wouldn't it?
It would have been something. As it is, it's just a pre-recorded show of... And she was basically a GIF. Like, she had 4 dance moves that she repeated, and that was it. And I'm just baffled as to what the big deal is. Like,
I find something excruciating about watching television presenters patronize robots. It's like when they brought Asimo onto that one episode of QI. And they were all like really... And they were saying, wow, he's amazing, he can even run, Asimo. Why don't you show us your lovely dancing moves? I'm just like, I'd just be embarrassed for the robot community at this point. So I'm glad they didn't try to...
us.
I'm glad they didn't try to have any kind of engagement with the hologram lady.
No, but I mean, I don't know, I'm trying to work out what the appeal of the hologram lady was in the first place.
Well, that's my question, but that's Japanese all over, isn't it? They like virtual love thing. That's where the maid cafe and idol culture comes from. You pay someone to pretend to like you for
but that's a person there doing a thing. Like, this was literally a GIF.
Well, it's no more real emotionally.
Easier to engage the delusion, I'd say.
Yes, they're quite big on escapism. Must have been that nuclear bomb that did that. Hey, real life is the place where we all die of radiation poisoning. Want to maybe get away from that?
Well, then it's kind of a strict culture.
But I remember there's been a few attempts over the years to sort of force the concept of a virtual actress, like the Final Fantasy Spirits Within film. Like the main character of that, they were going to if the film had done any better, they were going to attempt that with her, to create a sort of virtual actress concept. But I don't think you could force such a thing. I think this thing seems to have happened naturally. Like this character Hatsune Miku, I think she was just a mascot for some kind of electronics hardware or something like that.
Of course.
And she just seems to have really taken off and become a character in herself and everything, you know.
I don't know anything about what she's supposed to be outside of this. I was just kind of disappointed with the whole fucking, song and dance.
I kept seeing pictures of her around. I was like, I suppose she must have been some popular anime or something.
As I think that's a natural assumption to come to. That's
No,
what
I guess
I thought.
because she's not like a defined character, then
Everyone
she can
can
have
project.
whatever character you want. All right, here's a question: what would you say is the difference between a virtual idol performance like Hatsune Miku and, say, the Gorillas?
Well, have the Gorillas... I mean, see, the thing would be, the Gorillas have not only like the animated section, but they also have stage personas that they then can do live stage acts that have a degree of uniqueness to that performance and can interact and modify based on what the crowd's doing, based on different things that happen. That kind of make it a little unique. So take the bottom things live, for instance.
Yeah.
They were all a little different. I mean, sure, they're the same fucking story over again, but...
Yeah, they have the same script, but
Yeah.
a lot of it is in the improvising and
There
stuff.
we go. And there'll be a lot of that to like live performances.
Well, you can't improv an animation. And
That's
what the Gorillas' live performances were. They'd had, like, as I understand it, they like project the cartoon characters onto something.
Oh, they'd have that going there, yeah. But they'd also have a live performance element to it. Like, it wasn't just they'd play a cartoon and then go backstage.
Yeah, but
And that's what I mean. Like, this is all cartoon.
what would have been in addition to the cartoon then?
Well, they have a live stage performance.
So they
The people who do the voices for the, and whose alter egos are kind of represented by the animated characters are there doing a show.
so they are on stage.
Yes.
Wouldn't that sort of spoil the illusion?
I think adults are okay with not understanding that it's not the cartoons making the music. I think that people can figure that out.
But in this case, it is sort of the cartoon making the music because it's a synthesized voice.
Yeah, but again, like, it's all preset.
And it's not like not playing animated instruments, it's just a singer.
Yeah.
It's just a singer.
There were two, like, actual dudes playing some kind of... I can't remember exactly what instruments. I think it was like a synthesizer.
they got to have the band.
Yeah, so there was an actual sort of band thing there.
When you're the band to the singer, you're basically the equivalent of a roadie. You're just sort of there puppeting the instrument, and the actual person is just sort of this sort of blank mass positioned behind it. That's your role if you're in like a singer-focused tour.
I'm just struggling to work out, like, what the... like, there isn't a live element to this.
Why is the Zeds coming out of the doctor's elbow?
Because his elbow fell asleep. He took a bunch of drugs,
I see.
and now I'm looking at all the stuff he wrote down.
And now he thinks he's an elbow.
Yeah,
His entire person is contained within his elbow.
His face does have a kind of elbowy hinge to it.
Hey, why don't you kiss him while he can't resist, you
Okay.
fucking creepy rapist boy?
I found a hole. This is my first experience with the holes.
Okay, this is going to turn into Silent Hill now.
Yes.
There is a hole here. It's still here.
Like, you'll hear there's a weird sound when it says underground residence, which is strange. And then it just, this is what we see.
Well, underground residence isn't going to go anywhere nice, is it? Okay, is that a gimp?
Yes.
There is a gimp
Yes.
in a sewer hole.
Uh-huh.
And he seems a little bored.
Yeah, he's a little something. Chuck's
And
life.
he's... Right, so just to go back to a previous question, who is this game for and what is it supposed to teach them? Is this a fetish game? Have you tricked me into
Hey.
watching a sexy fetish game?
I don't know.
that
That's the
happened-
thing. Like,
that
at the end
happened
of this
once.
game, I'm just left with loads of questions.
That happened once. I bought Demolition Girl from like an EB Games. It was like $5, and I thought, hey, maybe this will be an underappreciated gem.
Yeah, it's the
It
accident.
turned out to be a game about taking photographs of a giant bikini girl that stomped around Tokyo. And you realise a few seconds in, this is somebody's wank material, isn't it?
Oh, that's always... I remember getting a movie once called Otto, Up With Zombies, and I really want to, like, explain that nothing about the film was really explained by the packaging. I thought it kind of billed itself as sort of... Because it mentioned Shaun of the Dead, so I'm like, oh, this could be like a German Shaun of the Dead. That could be fun. It is a gay German zombie porno film that at one point involves two zombies fucking, and one of them makes a hole, like, just in the torso of the other one, and he penetrates it. Nowhere on the box did it mention that.
Well, wouldn't you if you were the living dead?
And I'm just... It's one of those things where you're like, this looks this is looking kind of like quite gay. Like, not like just there are gay characters, but like this is a gay film for gay people to look at and jerk off to. And then you're just like, your brain's going, it surely isn't going to get any gayer. And then there's that final tipping point where he's like, I'm watching a dude hump a fucking chest wound. And there's sort of elements of that to this, where it just...
Look at what your life has brought you to.
Yeah. Well, I can't tell. I don't know who the game's for. Believe me, like, none of the rest of it.
And the funny thing is, this game's been localized and sold in the West.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what games they think, you know what, this is probably a bit too freaky. But Americans probably wouldn't get it.
I know, like, of all the games, like, there are so many games that would, like, a few basic fighting games even, some
Demolition
anime games.
Girl got localized as well. I wonder if it's one of those cases where some struggling publisher in the West has just bought up a job lot of obscure Japanese games and thought, let's just localize these and put them out and hope for the best. Probably.
And now there's a time element to it, so like things are open at certain times and bits and pieces.
It's Shenmue with poo. Shenpui. You were going to say that, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a poo joke.
You're getting predictable, man.
Says the man who said it.
Yeah, I said it because I knew you were about to say it.
A likely story.
Anyway. What else we got? Oh yes, Get Well Soon, Total Biscuit.
Yep,
Gabriel just said we should put that on our topic list.
Well,
Not sure where to go from there.
I was looking for topics to talk about, and one of the things that I've been seeing on Twitter lately was Total Biscuit trying to play games whilst on morphine, which has been kind of funny.
If you're not heard about it, Total Biscuits is receiving treatment for cancer at present.
Yeah.
And the moment you say that, that sort of makes the whole room go, oh, doesn't it?
Well, you know, he's fighting it. Apparently treatment's working well.
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
good.
Apparently it's proceeding. And I know Total Biscuit. We've hung out. We did a panel at the Escapist Expo. He's a cool guy.
There we go. And yeah, so that was... I just saw that come up and I thought, may as well send a Get Well Soon to Total Biscuit.
So, yes.
And
continue being one of the many British people making a living from the internet.
By being British.
By being British.
You lucked out with that accent, really, didn't you? If you had a broad Australian accent, no one would give a shit what you had to say.
Well, I could put on a more typical accent for the region I grew up in.
Do it.
Well, if I put on like a Birmingham accent, which is a sort of unfortunate accent that no one really wants to listen to, because it sort of makes you sound really hapless.
Should do an entire zero punctuation with accents.
Sort of like the Cole Pilkington voice, you just sort of sound kind of depressing all the time.
Sad, confused.
No, for some reason I escaped getting a particularly specific accent from around where I grew up.
Ugh.
Yep, it's
never okay.
He moves his head like something from The Ring.
Yeah. Okay, are you a criminal? And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not saying yes to that, or I know something bad's going to happen to me.
Are you a criminal? I am from your planet.
I can see into your human soul.
I am not a alien creature that climbed inside the head of a police officer and is attempting to continue his life.
Please kill me. So, the police officer said there's a board of crimes, and I thought, okay, this is probably important to the game, so I went over and looked at it.
Please pick a crime to confess to.
Yeah, and I want you to note what was just... You don't have to remember it word for word, but notice there was nothing about walking around at night on that.
Okay.
That comes up later.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And I had a rather bizarre... Yet another bizarre and frightening experience with this fucking game.
What's that sign say? Something cola?
Alone cola.
Alone cola. It certainly is when you drink it.
One is the thirstiest number. And there's just a woman under a big pile of Coke bottles, so that's okay.
I thought they were paint pods.
No, there's like it's like one of those little jugs, plastic jugs that'll have like lollipops and shit in it, and then some Coke bottles.
Okay.
Left.
I'm just buried in lollipop jars today.
That's a thing I could see actually happening to you. Something like drastically catastrophic happens to your life, and you sort of you hit the candy real hard.
There's far too much packaging around the candy in that case. I'm not seeing the logic.
I love that that's where you go straight to, is like the pragmatic elements of actually consuming that much candy.
How am I supposed to inhale the lollipops if they're all covered in wrapping in jars? Okay,
surrounded by candy wrappers.
let's see what horrifying thing is waiting for us under this seemingly ordinary section of street.
Take yet another peek into the world of Silent Hill.
These segments of the games are directed by David Lynch.
This entire game has a kind of Lynchy quality to it. Just
Reminds me of that first bit in Blue Velvet where the camera tracks under the lawn and it sees all these horrible insects crawling around.
that's because Lynch was always about making the familiar upsetting.
Yeah, that was the recurring theme of his films, really.
Yeah.
Like the horrors that lie beneath small towns' wholesomeness.
Speaking of which, Twin Peaks is making its way back to television
Oh, yes.
in 2016.
I never really watched that, but I've seen Deadly Premonition, and that's basically the same thing.
Twin Peaks is really good. Twin Peaks is one of my favorites. The first season's obviously better than the second. The weird thing,
I wouldn't say that first season is obviously always better than the second.
Well, I didn't say always in, like, you know, every
Well,
sense.
you said it obviously in the sense that is the standard.
Oh,
pattern.
no. For people who are aware of Twin Peaks.
Okay.
And who watch it. Because if I sit here and go, Twin Peaks was great, every Twin Peaks fan will go, except season 2. It's like, I know, except season 2.
Well, wasn't it like it stopped early?
Yeah, sort of. Like, the network started fidgeting with him and he got annoyed, and so Lynch
yes.
did his usual routine of just going, fuck it.
The network meddling.
But yeah, season 1 was a good, tight, solid story arc, and just bizarre.
I like to think that person isn't facing away from us. That's just what they look like. They're a freak.
It's you dancing drunk.
Flamingos are falling down. Flamingos are very good. Well, thank you for your contribution.
Flamingos are falling down, falling down.
Flamingos are very good.
Dun. And then here comes Mr. Pole to tell me I've reached the limits of my
Of course he is.
existence.
This is his role in life. So wait, is the implication here that he will let you past once you understand his despair?
The whip of love.
That wasn't the whip of love.
the
You're not
foot of
even
balls.
wearing a gimp suit.
No one knows what it's like to be a sad Pole.
Put these assless chaps on and I'll show you the whip of love.
Someone's going to point it out, so I may as well. All chaps are arseless. That's their definition.
Oh, fine.
Which is why I think we should call trousers arsed chaps.
Is the same true of crotchless panties? No.
It'd be weird if they were kind of like riding panties you wore that had no crotch specifically. Just so you can really get the fucking saddle up in there good. Yeah. No one's in this one, which I think paints an almost darker picture, given that it's just a weird...
No, I think there's someone hiding under that vaulting horse. Yep, thought as much.
It's not a good space for gymnastics, I don't think.
Someone's digging another tunnel to a deeper section of the tunnel where things somehow twice as freaky as the things going on the first level.
Just gets deeper and darker and deeper and darker.
You go under there and it's just a dog with the face of a man eating the feet of a baby. And the baby's laughing throughout. He thinks it's a funny game.
Thinks
As the
it's
blood
hilarious.
spurts from
Yeah.
his crunching wounds.
Then there's a guy in the corner talking about all the women who'd have had sex with you if you just weren't such a big pussy.
In the other corner, the baby's mother is playing a little organ with the little hand crank. And a monkey claps with glee.
I love symbol monkeys. They should make like actually just give the monkeys in zoos symbols to play, see if they pick it up.
They'd probably destroy each other. Because chimps are vicious little cunts.
Speaking from bitter experience there, Yahtzee.
They'd use the sharp edge of the symbol to cut each other's throats and then eat each other.
I love the idea of just a super chimp evolving who has mastered the symbol.
Chimps in the wild are fucking evil, man.
They're jerks sometimes, they're nice sometimes, depends on the chimp.
They're
that Frodo chimp was a fucking psychopath.
They cannibalize. They eat people's faces off.
This is going from like facts you've picked up to strange prejudice level.
Yeah, a chimp killed my parents.
This is why you put on a costume and fight chimp crime.
Yes, I dress up like a banana. And just as they get close enough, and seeing the giant banana and thinking all their Christmases have come at once, I strike! I strike with the electric taser.
Like the reverse rape of monkey temptation.
And I stick the electric taser right up that little red monkey bum.
Alright.
And then once they've been trained to distrust bananas, they just cannot function as chimps anymore. They just waste away.
I've wanted to go to one of those resorts that have the monkeys that like to get hammered. and just find one who's got a hangover, because they'll be there. They'll be there asleep, just crashed out, really horrible. Just with an air horn and just squeeze it. And just watch him wake up and shriek, and then look at me, and in this moment know that I did it to be a jerk because he's hungover. And in that beautiful moment, there'll be a bit of trans-species understanding.
What is wrong with you? Why do you hate the chimp so much?
See, there we go. Yahtzee's ready to stuff a taser up a chimp's butt until it's my idea.
Well, I understand my feelings are based on irrational hatred.
Just a snapshot, just perfect.
I don't know why you want monkey schadenfreude.
Well, as we're getting on to the 50-minute mark, PC Gamer did a review of, what's that thing called? Alien Isolation.
Yes.
And one thing that came up in it that I thought was interesting, and is something you'll actually talk about because you don't want to talk about the game itself, which is fair, is PC Gamer took time to argue that anyone, or not anyone, but that people who were perhaps expecting it to be quicker or something like that were playing it wrong. And that's something I'm interested in, is the idea of, are you playing it wrong?
Well, my first instinct is to say that playing it wrong is always the excuse given by the creator of a shit game to excuse the fact that everyone hates it.
Well, even a broken clock can be right twice a day.
Yes.
I mean, have there been any games in your personal history that you've gone back and replayed and maybe had a brighter opinion of because you come at it differently?
Well, Dark Souls most classically, I suppose. I was almost literally playing that wrong just because the game hadn't told me how to play it. I didn't know you had to be human to summon things or to kindle bonfires.
It does not explain any of that.
Didn't even know how kindling works, and know how effective shields were.
Well, you were running around without a shield.
I had to do some research before I could actually get into it.
It seems interesting that you.
So I suppose in the like a strictly literal sense, it was possible that I was playing that wrong.
I'm gonna go Myst.
But going back to Alien Isolation, I mean, I won't review it, but I'm not sure it's possible to play that wrong. I mean, you learn pretty swiftly that you can't really rely on combat just because there are so little combat materials given to you. Well, I think no real agency except to be stealthy and stuff.
I think it was more an attitude possibly to pacing. So, like, you may have been approaching it with the incorrect understanding of what mood the game was trying to create.
Well, I think at that point you can start blaming the game. Because, well, in fairness, it's called Alien, and then it's like hours into the game before you even meet an alien. I mean, a lot of it is sort of based around, like, the player expected to already have an understanding of what they're being let in for.
I think it was scarcely billed as an action title, though.
Well, it wasn't. It is very much a survival horror game.
I don't think it's unfair for a game to presume someone playing it may have experienced some of the marketing for said game. Like, I think you are in an alien minority there, where you, in your job, are sort of forced to approach it in a bizarrely neutral fashion. I think that's an unusual element.
Well, it is certainly getting harder and harder to avoid hype for games. I mean, it's just because I take a professional interest that I have to take a sort of hard line in not watching hype. A lot of people who don't have that interest will just sort of be casually exposed to hype, just as they idly browse the web.
Yeah, I mean, even, tweets and...
Yeah, even a tweet saying, "Oh, this game's good," can sort of...
Put Yahtzee in a sulk.
Can sort of almost spoil the first experience with the game because you'll have that in your mind.
Someone said it's good, now I think it's going to be good, now everything that's slightly bad about it's going to stand out extra, and...
Well, it's not that I worry that I think it'll be good, it's that I worry that when I've heard it's good, I'll be trying to look for where they came to that conclusion. And I think that sort of taints your own perception.
See, I don't know, when someone builds something up, I tend to notice flaws more than I look for the bits that they actually liked.
Well, that comes from a very human desire to be contrary.
Well, no, but I mean, if someone says, like, hey, this is really good, and then you're expecting it to be good by, like, your understanding of good, that's, that I think is the problem of, like, hype. That's why I think you can come at hype with, I think, a sensible attitude. I think it's just letting the hype get to you, I think, is a little silly.
Is this getting off topic? I mean, the original topic was, is it possible to play a game wrong?
I think it's, it's grown organically. The example I'll give is Myst. And, I think I freely admit, by the end of the play that we were doing of it, I was actually enjoying Myst.
Were you?
Yeah, I was feeling a sense of accomplishment. When we figured out, that fucking first puzzle, I was like, hey, I used deductive, like a fucking reasoning thing. I put 2 and 2 together in a puzzle that was not, like, insanely spelled out, which is kind of what I'm used to these days.
Well, the sense of accomplishment is how they get you, especially in games like World of Warcraft, where it sort of spaces the game around making you want to hear the level up sound.
Yeah, but see,
just a little more and I get to the end of the experience bar and then I can hear that sound again.
I think that's an artificial version of it, though. Like, this was, we figured something out that wasn't laid out for us, and it wasn't that kind of adventure game bizarro logic.
But it was unintuitive, I'd say.
The thing looked like the thing, and we pieced that together, and we're like, oh, that's... I don't know, that's how I felt. I felt like I'd figured something out that was a reflection of my actual ability to put a puzzle together.
So you'd say that's playing Myst right?
What is... No, I think I came at it expecting something very different the first time I played it. And, oh yeah, here's this. I found some poo.
There you go.
And the poo hurts me.
Yes, that's what I remember. You find poo.
I know, I have no one to blame but myself, really. I mean, I went into a chicken coop and picked up something on the ground.
I didn't know what this was until I picked it up and held it aloft.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I better eat. Yeah, I think it's poo.
I am Data from Star Trek. I'm trying to reach some conclusions.
You know what the best part is? The poo hurt me, it's in my inventory.
Yes.
So I have the poo, like, it's still with me.
Oh dear, that was a disappointing experience. Yeah. Better put this away for later.
Why would I want to continue holding the poo?
I'll put it away for later for when I'm more prepared for holding poo.
Yeah, I'm not at a high enough level to yet wield poo.
Yes.
That's the issue.
I have to up my...
poo stats.
Yes, up my revulsion.
Yeah, you picked the perk, shit fingers. You can now fling poo. What's that you good for?
Well, I've forgotten where we were on Myst.
Just that I think I was approaching it as though it'd be like an adventure game that I was more familiar with. So, things a little more spelled out.
Right.
And I think, I still think there's problems with the free look one, because it's hard to tell what actually is a puzzle. Like that thing on the floor in the area we're struggling to work out with. I didn't even know I was really interacting with that. So I think that's a bit of a difficulty. But I was legitimately enjoying the Myst game by the end of it, and I was surprised with myself at how much my opinion had changed about Myst. So I believe in this circumstance, I was approaching Myst incorrectly.
Okay, I still think Myst is a bad game.
I'm not allowed to buy booze yet, because apparently I'm like 8. So yeah, I got the girl I love's business card.
That's not creepy.
And you can show it to people, and they'll tell you, like, gossip about her, so I have no idea why she gave it to...
Her card. I'm gonna stalk her and make a list of all the things she likes and dislikes.
This is such an excellent manual for...
Here's hoping she likes storing poo. I'm gonna keep my own poo in jars in my basement, and when we're married, I will show them to her.
Look, glory upon them.
And I'm sorry if she can't appreciate my enthusiasm for cataloguing my own shit, then it probably isn't meant to be.
I store them, organize a brief description.
Oh no,
it's me and the poo jars.
Is Goro from Mortal Kombat victimizing people?
Yeah, he doesn't like buskers.
Or poo.
Or Japanese people.
Oh no.
So it's pretty bad for him to be in the game, actually.
Yes.
And the idea is, yeah, everyone thinks that because we're new to town, that this is the basic sort of puzzle that I've been wandering around trying to work out how to solve, is there's a giant rock on the railway tracks, as we saw earlier.
Oh dear. Yeah. Let's hope the municipal authority is sorting that out.
I do kind of, like, one thing I will say that's really good about this game is the time passes in a fascinatingly organic way. Like, it gets to a certain point, and you can follow this guy and he goes home. You can follow people around and watch them actually sort of conduct a day. And then this happens.
The policeman has gone insane and is shooting people.
Wasn't ready for that.
And now you're dead.
Yeah.
Now you're a dead chimp boy.
Wait for it. It's not quite done fucking with you.
Well, you're apparently still alive, unless that's the first evidence of rigor mortis settling in there.
That's jiggle mortis.
Oh, no, Carl Pilkington to the rescue.
And it just comes along and it's like, fuck you, kicks me.
Oh, he wasn't even rescuing you, he was just kicking you in the stomach.
Yeah, and there's me going, alright, load state.
So it just restarts the game now?
Yeah, I was waiting to see if, like, okay, do I get, like, my last save? No, that's just... I had no idea that was coming. I had no fucking clue.
I have no idea when I'm coming.
Surprise-gasm Croshaw. It just sort of pops out. So at this point, I'm like, okay... Did the thing tell me I'm not supposed to? Is there a curfew? Did I miss that? No, it does not mention a fucking curfew.
Hello, citizen. The voices are quieter during daylight.
Keeps me calm. Yeah, good morning.
Are you a criminal? Soon find out.
Yeah, I'm nearly 100% sure if I say yes, he'll just pull out the gun and start shooting me.
So has there been a lot of youth crime in this area and they have to instigate a curfew?
There's no more youth. Because he actually says, yeah, if you get more than 3 stamps, you'll be sent to the graveyard. Not spoken to, not have your parents called. I will fucking kill you.
Well, not necessarily. It could just be community service, raking leaves off the graves. Maybe it's a scared straight program.
Yeah.
I'll send you to the graveyard to examine the bodies.
You didn't let me finish. So, I try a few other things before I sort of... think screw it and wander back to sort of complete the, have a crack at completing the goal.
And what was the goal again? Kiss the lady?
Well, that's the meta goal. That's the Uber goal. I'm trying to...
And now you've found the white slave market. Well done. I think we'll be wanting male slaves on our poo farm this year.
This is one of those businesses that lets you in even though it's not in its operating hours. So that's helpful.
But I guess you'd better steal everything that isn't nailed down.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal me a bath. I'm gonna get me one of them fancy hot springs. Hot springs are actually really nice. A lot of balls, but really nice.
Okay. I've heard nothing to the contrary, so can't really dispute that. I imagine it's as nice as any other warm bath.
Well, it is like really hot. So if you
that's
have,
how
like,
I liked
muscles.
that's how I liked my baths as well.
Really? Oh, there we go.
To the point where you go ooh ooh ah ah like a little chimp as you get in.
Yahtzee's a dirty little monkey. Needs to be cleaned.
It's been a while since I had a bath. I used to take baths regularly when I was a kid in my parents' house, but now it's all showers.
Yeah.
You have to be water conscious, but I've sort of made a point of having a bath every time I stay in a fancy hotel room.
Huh.
Just to, embrace the decadence a bit. In fact, one time I was staying in Melbourne and they put me up for a con, I think, and they put me up in a nice, really nice, hotel where there was a TV in the bathroom over the bath. So I was like, we're doing this fucking proper style. So I ran myself a nice bubble bath, and I went to the minibar. Went to the minibar, poured myself a glass of wine, got all the chocolate out.
Put on Sex in the City.
Well, that wasn't on. The only thing I could find of channel hopping was Judge Don Deed. So I just watched
the cherry on top of a beautiful picture.
So I just watched some English gangsters try to menace a jury while I lay in my bubble bath drinking wine.
Nothing helps Yahtzee unwind like wine, a bubble bath,
and true crime.
Judge John Deed.
Yes.
Great.
Anyway, let's answer
so happy when
let's answer a question. Let's get away from Chimpy Poo Boy.
I don't know, I love Chimpy Poo Boy.
If you could remove one video game company from history, as well as every achievement they did, who would it be and why? And that's asked by the Mudkip Dude channel. Hey! I think he just tricked me into plugging him with his name.
Can't believe you fell for that old ruse.
How would you answer that one then?
One
video game company and their entire library of games and all legacy they created in the industry.
Nintendo, just to see whether or not there'd be an industry.
Well, that would be an entirely different world, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we've had that conversation, but I think it's very interesting because were there? Okay, you might know the history better than I do. Were there other companies competing to get back into the gaming industry post the collapse, like along with Nintendo? Was there anyone sort of?
Well,
did Sega come after fucking Nintendo? Sort of made a bit of headway.
Sega came a bit after. I think Commodore were doing all right in Europe.
Look at this guy's life. So there we go. Okay, so if Nintendo didn't revive console gaming, maybe we'd live in the glorious PC paradise where it was just Commodore 64 and sort of home-written computer programs.
Interesting. So we'd have let consoles die with the 2600, and then the PC master race would have taken a stranglehold upon all gaming forever. I can think of worse worlds.
Yeah, well, that was mine. What's yours?
That's a tough one. I mean, it's hard to... Maybe Rebellion, the British company, because they've fairly reliably produced nothing but wank. I mean, they're the guys who made, like, the Alien vs. Predator game. That was bloody awful. Well, I think the one game, the one good game they made was the first Alien vs. Predator on PC. And I think we could do without that. Maybe there wouldn't be so much continual torture of the Alien franchise. Up until Alien Isolation, I suppose.
Okay, don't try and kiss a boxer.
Of course not. He will kiss you back with his fists.
Yeah, he had the little tune, music notes around his head, and then...
And then he got pulled into the ground to become part of the mystical underworld.
Yeah, and then there's another hole over here, so I'm like, oh, okay. And
he's going to be the next Gimp.
yeah, he's just... Dude's down there, having a bit of a workout.
Previous Gimp's going to train him up like Zorro.
Alright, you have to pick questions this week, because I pick questions every other week and you bitch and moan.
Alright,
Hurry up. Don't read them, just pick one.
Yahtzee, how do you personally get past writer's block?
I knew you were going to pick that
Asked by Ken DeLiza. Well, Ken DeLiza, personally, I just try to force myself. I mean, when I'm writing a book, I set myself a target for a page a day. And a lot of writer's block comes from just lacking faith in the stuff you're writing. And the secret is to not give a shit. Just write whatever garbage comes to mind if you have to. Get that page out. Get by whatever means necessary to the next bit you're interested in writing. And then, because that's what a first draft is for. Go back and sort it out later.
I think Mogworld perfectly reflects that writing attitude.
Well, since you previously stated that it was a good book, I'm going to assume...
I'm teasing you, you great big fucking Betty. Here's the funny thing about that question. There are loads of questions that get posed to me about things that I'm interested in, and I know you have no interest or grasp of, and I don't bother ever answering them because, I know you have a hissy fit at daring to answer something that doesn't involve you.
No, I get to throw a hissy fit because you waffle like what you just did.
That wasn't waffling, that was pointing out something you do.
No, that was waffling.
Answering
that was using 20 words where 3 would have done.
You suck tits.
That's better. So how would you get past writer's block, Gabe?
Oh, give up and try something else.
That's the motto of your whole fucking life, isn't it?
Well, except dealing with my personal demons. That was worth it, but everything else... I don't know, I think people should quit a little more, don't you think? I mean, don't you think there are people who should have quit?
Yeah, you're just proving my point continually, the more things you say.
Another question.
It's weird how you're an egotist. It's weird how you're an egotist. It doesn't seem like you have much to be an egotist about.
Remember when I met you, what your life was like? What your personal life was like?
Glamorous and wealthy, because I made so much money from all my success.
Okay, literally, Yahtzee used to do this thing where he'd walk up and constantly go on about how much money he made and how that must make me jealous because we're the same age and I don't have that much money.
Yeah.
And
I wonder how you get through life without killing yourself, frankly.
Dealt with 0 of your sad personal demons. Like 0. None of them. You are still an anxious, sad, cranky little person.
Hey, you don't know me. You
talk to me outside of these things. You talk to me when you're drunk.
Do serious talk now. You don't want to know what kind of shit I have gotten over. I mean, consider the stuff I've still got.
Good. And this is like all sad, miserable people. You're fucking angry at anybody else who manages to change. It just infuriates you that someone could fucking change. The reason, that it's like dealing with my fucking drinking, man. I quit drinking in one day. All my friends work in bars, I go back to bars. I haven't relapsed once in fucking, nearly 3 years now. Look up how hard that is. What a difficult thing that is to fucking do.
Sorry, are you trying to dispute the fact that I said you're an egotist?
No, I am an egotist. I maintain everybody should be an egotist because you are the window through which the universe fucking occurs. And I think a little more egotism, you'd understand yourself a bit better. You hinge your life on external things like your successes and things like that, and I don't think that's healthy. And then you try and belittle mine because I've made, personal fucking journeys.
Yes. That is a classic egotism by the sound of it.
Yeah, again, you haven't dealt with your fucking things. And it's your insecurity. That's the thing. Every fucking time it's your insecurity.
You know what? How fucking dare you tell me I haven't dealt with stuff? Like I say, you don't know me, dude. There are things I don't like to talk about because they're far in the past. But, shut the fuck up.
I'm talking about shit that you've talked about while I've known you.
Yes. Well, imagine the shit I haven't told you about.
You get talkative when you look it up.
Well...
The Manor Bar opening was an interesting one.
Oh, video's done. I didn't notice. Well, I hope that answered your question, Mr. I've forgotten who you were.
Kendalizer.
Or whatever. Any passing final thoughts for the viewers?
Japan is fucking perplexing.
Thank you. I think everybody knew that.
Yeah, but I mean, don't you think that this game has managed to go a little bit like... If it were just a town, that'd be one thing. But then it starts to get to those weird sub-towns. And I think that's above and beyond the call of weird.
Well, maybe we're just... Maybe they'd feel the same way about, say... The
Goodies.
League of Gentlemen, or...
The Goodies. I think the Goodies would be weird to other people.
Yeah, I think that would probably be a bit lost on the Japanese.
Kitten Kong.
Or,
Actually, that'd just make sense.
You know what? Showing this to us would probably be like showing Confessions of a Window Cleaner to the Japanese. Because that is just such a British thing, Confessions
Is that
of a
one of
Window
those,
Cleaner.
like, carry-on-like things?
It's one of those, like, carry-on things that is also pornography. Like, there's tits and, like, depictions of sex in it.
So, like, softcore stuff?
Yeah, so people were supposed to get their rocks off on it, but it's also, like, full of shitty carry-on style double entendre humour.
Do they even go to the effort of making a double entendre, or is it just, like,
That's
tits?
the weirdest thing. They do cheeky gags, and then also show tits and sex as well.
So it was one of those weird things where, like, they're not allowed to say the word fuck, but they are allowed to have, like, full nipple.
Fuck the Japanese. I don't think any other country would understand Confessions of a Window Cleaner, frankly.
Oh, we had things like that in Australia, but I'd say that's probably just because we're, like, the child of Britain.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You had, what's it called? Barry Mackenzie?
Yeah, there was that. Was Alvin Purple Australian or British?
I don't know. I've never
All right,
heard
it's
of
got to
that.
be. It's probably Australian.
then.
I think that was in that realm.
Okay.
I don't know. I really hope someone watching this is Japanese and can just give me an idea from this perspective. Is what we just saw weird by your understanding? That'd be my question for the end of it.
Yeah, maybe this was just a big trick they play on Westerners.
In which case, bravo.
Yeah. Well played, Japan. Well played.
Got me with your pole, dude.
Bye-bye.
Turtles.
Gabe's a cunt.
Tit.
Dog.
Shit.
Better let it lie then.
Go jab it in the eye. I like that.
And here's Naked Snake. I can't even tell. The resolution is so small.
Well, again, you could make the window a little larger, but...
Oh, he's wearing sunglasses?
Yeah.
I see.
And his entire face is...
Jesus Christ.
a massively racist, flapping Asian caricature.
It's weird how some Asian games do that.
Yeah. That is...
I guess, that's like a racist caricature of all those other Asians.
It's like if
the
you met a
Asians
black guy in blackface.
from the specific region of Japan everyone else in Japan is racist about.
I would, well, what would that be? That's,
I think...
It's the South. I know it's the South.
I've heard... Osaka, yeah. I've heard Japanese people have stereotypes about Osaka.
Yeah. That's weird. I didn't even know about that.
It's kind of like in America, I've heard
Texas.
I've heard it said everyone in the world says Americans are weird. Most Americans say nah, it's just California. Most Californians say nah, it's just LA. Most LA residents just say nah, it's just Hollywood.
And then Hollywood goes,
hey, you found her.
Yep, game over.
Soulmate.
So easy.
Well, that was quick.
I love you, Yatsina. Touch my enormous distended beasting lips.
Kiss her, you fool.
I don't know. I remember once when I was...
Man, that was easy.
Yeah.
Yes, I would rather get...
Just kidding. Oh, God, it's high school again. I don't like this anymore. This game isn't fun. I'm sad.
Jesus, what a slut.
Okay, I don't want to tell her I'm a cum slut.
See, there's a lot of Japanese games where they have this, dialogue choice, but they don't tell you that some of these dialogue choices, completely change the path of the game.
I don't think these ones do. Oh, hey, the phone I found is ringing.
Oh, God, I knew that would happen.
Yeah.
Before we were doing recording, Gabriel found a lost phone on the street. And he decided he was going to leave his number next to it, and so that they could... and then take the phone with him. And he's probably going to leave me alone for a while he goes and returns it. So, I guess you're stuck with me for a while, listener. Yep, there he goes. You know, Gabriel doesn't watch these videos back, so I guess I can say whatever I like about him now. You know, I don't think Gabriel's very intelligent. And I think he's the last person to realise that. Has anyone else picked up on that? He's like got the sort of thing that a precocious 12-year-old has, where they sort of have sounding intelligent confused with act.
Just as well, this is serious fun.
Yes. I think
punchline.
Wait, serious fun. I just got that.
And punchline. I'm confused. Is it serious fun or is it a joke? Oh, but it is that and so much more. Welcome to David Lynch's Chulip.
Yes, your word last time was...
lips.
And to be fair to you, I think this is the most apropos possible result from that word. Would you like to introduce us to this escapade?
Well, our scene opens with a dog walking up to a tree vagina. And it gets progressively stranger from there in a way that only the Japanese games really can. Options. Vibration. That's the option that I have.
It's even got lip right there in the name.
Yep. Are you ready for that?
There is a man being birthed from the tree, and a monkey boy has approached.
Yeah. This is a little bit like, there's a movie called Suicide Club.
I think this is a dream Carl Pilkington's having, where he's a tree talking to his best monkey friend.
There is a very Pilkington quality about this guy who's... We actually meet him again later. But this establishes the story, sort of. Or at least the goal, like the main character goal.
Is the screen going to be vibrating up and down the whole way through?
Probably. It wasn't doing that when I was playing it.
Okay.
I look forward to that driving everybody insane.
Cum slut. I thought that was an L at the start for a second there.
Lum slut?
Yes.
I'm an absolute slut for lums. And here comes my dear, soon-to-be betrothed child bride.
Yes, I've seen this game before, and this whole segment at the start seems to be mainly just to spoil the central conceit of the game, because the game doesn't actually get to that for a very long time.
It really doesn't. That actually surprised me. Like, the gameplay video that I did it does not get into sort of, I'm hesitant to say gameplay.
Oh, is this revenge for me making you my Oregon Trail Skeksis wife?
Why has it got to be revenge? Why do you think I took that negatively? Everything's fucking negative with you. No, I just like the idea of the adventures of Cumslut and Yatsina.
Okay.
And I think Yatsina's a funny female name.
And you're Cumslut in this adventure,
I'm Cumslut. Well, I'm running around trying to get kisses off of everything, which nice. So yes, you save by pooping. There's a sneaking mechanic that is bizarrely necessary.
Okay.
That we'll find out a little bit later.
Is that so you can sneak up and kiss things?
Yes.
That is not problematic at all.
Like...
Let's hide behind this wall and then launch our lips at this one like we're doing a stealth counter in Shadow of Mordor.
What I love is all the characters have a Muppety quality to them, like they're all very distinctly digital Muppets.
Yeah, especially that guy.
Oh, all of them. Like it's a little bit difficult to see sometimes because of the angle, but the main character's a Muppet. That woman with her head flapping away is definitely
not quite
a Muppet.
Muppety. What is there's something
the doctor
about...
looks a little bit like Guy Smiley or something like that.
Yeah, the doctor looks like Guy Smiley, but there's something about you that takes away from the Muppetiness. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there we go.
That
told you.
That looks like someone wearing a carnival costume.
Yeah, it's like a mascot for a really horrifyingly racist baseball team.
It looks like something I would have nightmares about as a child.
Wait for it.
I'm
a nice cum slut.
I'd probably dream about it eating me.
And then it just does scary eyes. Whenever you finish talking to her, she does scary eyes.
I'd be more afraid by the flapping mouth, I think.
I'm going to lick you.
I'm Dr. Dandy.
I'm going to call you that sarcastically now.
I dress like a twat.
That's perfect.
It's this weird front of your face that's throwing me off.
Yeah, like, it's because he's got Muppet head. Like, his head is two distinct separate parts that flap when they try to talk.
Oh, a cold sweet potato that I found in the bin.
Yeah. See,
that I'm
that
going
was
to consume.
a compost bin, it would be a warm sweet potato. That's why you don't just throw food into regular dumpsters.
Which of course would make it much more appetizing.
Oh, absolutely.
The bacteria has been growing in this for a while.
Bacteria just means more meal.
More live things have died.
Moldy bread is just more bread.
Well, I guess bacteria doesn't die if you eat it. It fucking thrives if you eat it.
Yeah. Lives inside you and then you become an amazing symbiote like Venom.
Or it just gives you food poisoning.
Yeah, or you just shit a lot.
Pot.
He owns the antique shop, believe it or not.
Okay.
He's always happy to meet a cum slut.
You wonder how antique shops make a living.
Well,
I guess it's the whole rather than sell 200 things at $10 a pop, sell 2 things at $1,000 a pop.
Yeah, it depends on where you go. Like, there are places on Bribey Island, like proper, like sort of second-hand stores that sell
sleeping
really...
actually being intelligent. It's not even that. He's got sounding intelligent confused with just being incredibly boring and difficult to listen to. Oh, and I think he's just dramatized most of his actual love life there. Yep, it's still just me. Because Gabriel has to go down in the lift and be a good citizen. I said it would interrupt the record. Okay, I guess he just had to go and double check and make sure those eyes were as terrifying as they were the first time. So this is... Well, I talk shit about him, but I kind of need someone to bounce off, I find, because otherwise I just sort of panic. Maybe I should just sing a little song until he gets back. Oh, I think I hear him at the door. 1 second.
Okay, so I'm guessing while I was gone, Yahtzee, about as pleasant as shit on your face, Croshaw, was doing his whole big routine about how finding a Galaxy S5 and going to the effort of giving it back to the person who lost it was somehow a bad thing.
Well, not really. I was mainly just talking...
That's what you were doing when I found it. Yahtzee tried to convince me not to bother.
Well...
Think about that for a second.
Well, it's to teach you a valuable lesson, wouldn't it?
There we go. There we go. I wanted to get a Galaxy S5 back to its owner, who seemed very happy on getting it back, I might add. And Yahtzee, of course, mainly, but not because of any other reason, but it was my idea. Anything that I come up with, Yahtzee just has to shit on because he's got some sad need to call out everything I do to the point where handing a phone back to the person who lost it is a bad thing.
Are you just going to self-aggrandize for the next 10 minutes?
I'm not self-aggrandizing.
Oh,
I'm
it
making
sounds
fun
a lot...
of you being a dickhead.
Well, you seem to be doing that mainly by self-aggrandizing, from what I'm hearing there.
You're a dickhead.
And you're a self-aggrandizing twat.
You're a sad, negative little man.
And you're a fucking idiot.
Cum slut.
Are you kissing your dad?
Yes.
You won't get experience by kissing me. We've done that far too often. Alone at night, when I come into your room.
Never to talk about that outside. Remember, you'll get it punished.
Yes, and I'll buy you a teddy bear after each time.
The sad thing is, it's incredibly
And those teddy bears stare at you from the chest of drawers.
I think makes me a cum slut.
Spoiler warning.
Yes, the central conceit of the game is the spoiler. Heads up, Street Fighter involves punching.
You have to kiss things a lot. That's the object of the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Now you know why. I had this recommended to me on Twitter, and within about a second of reading about it, I was like, yeah, it looks like I gotta do this. Originally, my choice was to do, I have no mouth, but I must scream, but that is...
How is that lips related?
Lips, mouth, it's in the friggin' title. Dude, lips. Give me a fucking break. Lips. Lips is not an easy one. Lips isn't a theme. You can't have, oh, the game is themed around lips.
And yet... What else is this game if
yeah, well,
not
there we
themed
go.
around
Like, that's
lips?
what I mean. Like, I wasn't aware of this game, that this game existed, so I was racking my brain for like, Jesus fuck, what do I know that is kind of got lips or mouth focus?
Well, I haven't played this one myself. I did watch a Let's Play of it.
Of course you have.
It's by Natsume, previously of Harvest Moon. I think Cooking Mama. Don't quote me on that. But it's one of those very peculiarly Japanese games which just seem to be sort of creating a life simulator in a world that runs on different rules to everywhere else.
Oh, you have no idea.
In that I group things like Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing... What was that other one? Tomodachi Life, maybe?
I don't know, I don't really play any of those games. I have this thing, like, again...
And now you're strapped in a dentist's chair, and the marathon man is about to torture you. Oh,
Listen to me, cum slut! There's a Japanese movie called Suicide Squad, not Suicide Squad, Suicide Club, which is a really good example of just Japanese bizarro cinema. And I've had this thing where I've told people about it to go watch it, and it's happened about 6 times where I've just been like, okay, this movie is really weird. Like, the kind of regular Japanese weird that most of us are sort of acclimatized to now.
Yes.
But then, about 3/4 of the way through, Suicide Club gets batshit insane. Like, it just somehow manages to pull out extra nitrous and go even faster. And this game's a little bit like that. Every time you think you've seen the weirdest thing this game's gonna throw at you, it throws something else more weird at you, which by the end gets
Goodbye, cum slut.
Yeah.
Cum slut left the house. Then he went to see his friend Dan the Baker. Hello, cum slut, said Dan the Baker.
By pooping.
Of course you do. That's not even the only game that's not even weird. No More Heroes does that.
Remember when
Dead Rising does that.
When you shit, it takes your life down.
Ooh, angry. Grrr. Grrr. I'm having a furious poo.
I'm furious.